board? That's probably what was in it.
Hey, what's up, phone lovers? Welcome to the Mobile Roar podcast for the week of May 13th, 2016. I'm Joe Fidua.
I am Chris Chavez.
And I'm Ashley King.
I started there because we're actually recording this a day later. So
Yeah.
if you're listening to this, you're listening to this on the day that we recorded it. So, bam.
Friday the 13th.
Yep, Friday the 13th. Uh-oh. Spooky. All right, let's just hop right into the news this week. So one of the next flagships to come out is going to be the Moto 6 2016. Why did I say Moto 6? Moto X. How many Moto X's have there been?
This will be the fourth gen. Yeah.
All right, so the fourth gen Moto 6, I said it again, Moto X, 2016. Starting to pick up on rumors for that. We're seeing some leaks and stuff like that. Why don't you talk about that phone, Chris?
So normally, like, the phone usually, let me see, like last year's and the year before that, it was like announced around September, like in the summertime, September-ish. So we're getting kind of close to that. So of course the leaks have been coming in. EV Leaks, better known as, or actually Evan Blast, better known as EV Leaks. He posted
Leaks. Jeez,
Evan, yeah. Posted something on VentureBeat, just like detailing some of the stuff, because it's just so weird how he does it. But like sometimes he won't say anything about a phone, even though he has all this information, and then once someone else leaks something, he's like, "Oh, okay, I
gotta speak up.
I could let it all out now." So he let it all out. He just revealed details on the phone. It's gonna be modular. Surprise, surprise. That's gonna be, I guess,
In what way?
the big new thing for this year. They're gonna have 6 modules. So instead of like on the G5 where you have to remove the bottom and then like shove something in your phone to attach it, this is gonna have connectors, little gold connectors on the back, and they attach via magnets. So it's just like,
wow.
it
So
just
like
snaps
a
in.
magnetic case?
Almost, but it's just the back. It doesn't wrap around the phone, doesn't do anything. It's literally
so
just
like
the back.
replaces the back cover.
Essentially. I mean, it's unibody, it's all metal, so just think of like the thinnest
Okay.
metal phone you can possibly picture, with just little gold pin connectors on the back. And I guess out of the box, it's going to come with like back plates that are colored, so you can change the color and look of your phone, just the back plate. But the modules they're going to sell, there's going to be 6 modules, which is way more than what LG is doing.
Yeah.
So they're already winning there. They already beat LG at their game, even though it's not even out or official. But 6 modules. I can't remember which ones they detailed, but one of them was going to be a boost in battery, so it's just going to be like a flat ol', big ol' honking battery you can snap to the back, which I think is probably going to be the more popular. And then some camera stuff, and I forget what the other ones were called, but pretty darn exciting. So there's, like, last year we saw the Moto X Style, which became the Moto X Pure Edition in the US, and then we saw the Moto X Play,
Yep.
which became the Droid Max 2 or whatever, and then I guess Verizon nabbed the exclusive on the best version, which was the Moto X Force, which became the Droid Turbo 2. So right now he says that there's going to be 2 Moto X models, and that's kind of what he's referring to as kind of like last year. So it's kind of up in the air if Verizon's going to get, some sort of Droid Turbo, special made Droid Turbo 3, or if they're just going to get this new Moto X 2016 and just rebrand that one as like the Turbo. They could, because right now there's the two different models. There's the Vector Thin, and then there's the Vertex. So the Vector Thin is stupid thin, and this is like the flagship model. Quad HD display, stupid amounts of RAM, all that stuff. But it's only 5.2 millimeters thin, which is absolutely insane. I don't even know if I have anything that thin.
But how big is the battery then?
It's fairly small. It's like 2,800 milliamps or something. So it's already pretty small, just stock out of the box. But because it's so dang thin, I guess the idea is that you're going to buy the battery pack module for it if you want like crazy battery life. But I'm sure Motorola.
You can't use more than one module at a time, right?
I don't think you can stack them. I mean, that's actually a good question. I don't
So
think you
you'd have
can.
to be choosing between like better battery life or one or the
Or
other.
yeah, whatever
That
the
kind of
heck the other
sucks.
things are.
Like,
Yeah.
what if you
So
wanted a cool camera and then you can't have good battery life?
that I guess that is kind of true. But I mean, I guess you would snap. I mean, because they're so easily removable, you would snap one off, put the camera on, take a bunch of photos. I mean, maybe the camera module one might have like an extra battery
That's a
inside of
good
it too.
point. Yeah.
So, like we saw with the G5. So, I mean, there's still some questions, and I mean, some people think modules are just kind of stupid on phones and all that stuff, and it's like an answer to something nobody ever really wanted, but um, and it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, I think, and to me, it kind of gives a phone some character. So, because what we saw with like the HTC 10 was that it's like all around awesome, but there was no like feature that really made it stand out. There was nothing that really felt new. There was nothing that made people say, "Ooh, I
Yeah.
gotta
And
have that." You know, there's
apparently,
no,
reviewers just hate that.
yeah, and yes, exactly. And I mean, I kind of feel the same way when people ask me like why they should, because they always, "Oh, what's the best phone out right now?" I'm like, "Oh, it's the HTC 10. You should get it." Why should I get it? And I'm like,
That was the reason. You already gave it. The
'cause
reason is it's the best
it's
phone
just
out there.
it's
Like,
just the best. And they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, I mean, is it?"
I
You know,
know. I mean, I said in my review, boring doesn't have to be a bad thing. I mean, it's the best phone out there. That should be reason enough to buy it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it really is. So yeah, I guess that's just kind of like Motorola and Lenovo's thing. I guess they're going to be leveraging the power of Lenovo and their hardware department to make some crazy new Moto X's. So that's kind of the most exciting thing that's going on right now.
I just had kind of a crazy thought. So I feel like a phone that would have really worked well with modules is the Nexus 6P. Like, imagine if you slap something on the back so that the entire back stuck out as far as the camera hump, like a module just like stuck on there.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
mean
cool.
that's kind of the idea with the Moto X. So the Moto X leak, they like everyone was making fun of because it had a huge like circle camera, like glass circle on the back, but it like was raised. It looked like it came out so far. People were like, "Ugh, why is that so like hideous?" And I mean, it's because later we learned, oh, they're gonna have these little things you slap on the back, and then once you slap like the little back plates, the colored back plates, or like these batteries, it's gonna be completely flush with the phone.
That's pretty
So
cool.
it won't look as hideous or
I think
weird.
price is going to be really important because if they
Yeah.
want to sell modules, they need to make people like realize, okay, the regular phone is cheap because it doesn't come with all these modules, and then they'll be more willing to buy those. Because like the G5 is just priced like a regular phone, so you got like I don't know what was it, 600, $700, and then they want you to buy like a module on top of that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, and I think it might do better, like if Verizon, because these two models are supposed to be the Turbo 3 and the Max 3, so it might do better at something like a Verizon store where people are just maybe putting down payments or whatnot. But it'll also be interesting to see what the heck happens to Moto Maker. I kind of feel like it might be done with.
I was going to ask you that, like, you mentioned the backs that you can put on. Are they going to come
Yeah.
in the same amount of colors that you can get in Moto Maker?
It comes with one out of the box, and the one they showed was like it was like these. It looked like rain, like crazy, like stripes, all these different colors going on the back, and that one looked a little
Mm.
wild. But that was supposedly the Droid model.
That was what that picture was all about. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
that was the Droid one that they leaked. So as
I
far
feel
as
like
the other
Moto
colors,
Maker though would be perfect for this module concept.
Right. Like, why would you ditch that when, if something's modular, you have so many different customizations you can do to it?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would be really cool to be able to
yeah,
see like in Moto Maker like the different modules on the phone. And like, oh, okay, that'll look like
you
that.
can
And
magnetically snap a wood back onto it. I didn't even think about that, or like some kind of weird leather, or whatever. Yeah, I
very
mean, I guess it
interesting.
could, but yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really like read any of that Moto X stuff, so I'm kind of excited now. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Let's not talk about this too long since we beat the HTC 10 to death. But I know a couple people have commented because you were waiting for your HTC 10 for a while, and now it's finally here. So what are your
Uh,
quick thoughts on it?
I kind of just sort of talked about it already.
Yeah.
It's kind of all around wonderful. I feel like it doesn't do anything too too overly awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But like as far as like smartphones go, the fingerprint sensor is way faster than the Galaxy S7, way more accurate, which I totally love. The one thing, I guess, the most disappointing aspect about the phone is probably the speaker. It's not as loud as I would have liked. I feel like the Galaxy S7 gets a little bit louder, and the screen doesn't get quite as bright as I want it to. With this S7, got really, really bright. You can crank that sucker way up. But that's kind of it. Yeah. So
The speaker
that's,
thing is like the one thing we disagree on because
yeah.
I went from the S7 to the HTC 10, and I feel like the HTC 10 is a lot louder.
It's definitely like clear. It's so clear sometimes where I'll have to turn it down a couple notches because like that little front speaker earpiece thing is like, I feel like it's like little needles are going into my ear because I'm like, it's really clear, really clear.
What? Because you know how there's like the two different modes for boom sound, like
Mm-hmm.
theater and I think the other one's music.
Yeah, I use music mode on mine
Okay,
all the time.
that could be why we're having difference because I have just kept it in theater mode. Like
Oh, okay. I like music mode because it sounds a little bit. The sound is a little bit more full, whereas theater mode definitely gets louder for like voices and stuff like that. Voices come through really, really well on theater mode. I basically would put it in theater mode if I'm watching like a YouTube video and I'm trying to, I'm out someplace where it's kind of noisier outdoors and trying to listen to somebody speak or something. But otherwise, yeah, it's mostly music mode for me. But just not, I don't know. I was really just hoping, even just from the bottom speaker, to keep, everyone talks about how it's a woofer. It's not a woofer. It's just a pretty mundane, regular little mediocre speaker at the bottom, and it's kind of annoying. I just wanted something maybe closer to like the S6, which had an awesome, phenomenally loud, clear. You could hear stuff. You could watch movies on it, or even like the iPhone. The iPhone has a really, really good speaker too. So that was like the only part where I was kind of disappointed, especially coming from an HTC phone, mind you.
right, it's no front-facing boom sound, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to some of our more quicker news. So 3D Touch won't arrive in the first Android N, but apparently it's going to be coming in an update afterwards.
Yeah. So we saw, we had leaks that we, found, not really leaks, but like we found some code inside of Android N that kind of alluded to 3D Touch possibly being a native feature in Android, starting with Android N, but it was kind of it could work either way, and it was just whatever. But now there's like a new report, which a lot of people kind of said was kind of stupid and bogus, and everyone said we were kind of wrong, and it was probably
Yeah.
It's gestures and all this. It was really annoying, but a new report, I think it was like Business Insider or some big site. They were saying how, oh yeah, Android is getting it, but it's not gonna like immediately debut in the first version of Android N, but it'll come in some later version of Android N. So that's cool if you like 3D Touch. I'm not really that sold on it, but it's not
Nor
terrible.
am I.
Some people really enjoy it. Some people really do.
So the next little news story I'm pretty excited about. Apparently Google is working on an Amazon Echo competitor. I feel like we've talked about this very thing before.
Yeah.
We have, because I think I was telling you, the reason I don't have one is because I don't have anything that's Amazon.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't care if Google makes it or whoever makes it, I just need something that works with OK Google, and Amazon Echo doesn't.
Yeah, and it's just weird that Google doesn't have this by now. I feel like this would have been like the next step. As soon as they introduced OK Google, they should have had like, oh hey, we got this cool little speaker you can also talk to that has it working. So it's just kind of weird they've kind of sort of been dragging their feet on it. But the code name is Chirp.
Chirp.
Whatever that
I think
means.
that's cute. Chirp.
OK Chirp.
Chirp chirp.
It's kind of weird actually that no one has like tried to make a OK Google Amazon Echo, like some company like just put Android on a speaker and have it always be listening. Like seems like that would work.
It seems like it would be something really easy to do, but I guess not.
You run into those Android problems where it stops working and there'd be no display, and you'd be like, well, now what?
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, so it's rumored to come out later this year. They said they'll probably show it off a little bit at Google I/O. Probably to get developers on board and stuff because you'll probably want to integrate it with your apps like IMDb or whatever to pull up information. So it'll be interesting to see.
I think it would be sweet to get some integration with like recipe apps, and so you could say like, okay Google, what's the next step, and it would tell you the next step in the recipe. I think that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
So the next thing is probably something else we could see at Google I/O, and that's Google's standalone VR headset is apparently going to be called Android VR, and this is not just like a Google Cardboard thing. This is going to be a headset with like more built into it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely more hardware. I think they're saying it's like going to be a step below like the Oculus and Vive and all those, but like a little bit more than what you see with like the Gear VR. So I don't know if it's going to have a built-in display or this and that, but it sounds cool because I really don't want to have to plug my phone into a VR headset. I think that's kind of the biggest downside to the Gear VR is because like if you want battery life is already pretty bad on the Galaxy S7, but if you want to kill that thing real quick, you snap it into the Gear VR and watch that thing. Ugh. Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool. I mean, Android right now is built so you can like plug it into different things and it changes the interface. What if they had something like the LG's VR thing where you plug your phone in, your phone's still in your pocket, but you plug it in with a cable and then the interface is like changed in the VR headset? That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that they're supposed to be working on is like kind of like a native Android UI that's tailored to VR and stuff. So I think like on Google Cardboard right now, it's just sort of like a really basic launcher. When you open the app, you just have a couple little icons and you just select them that way. But this will be a lot more fun and full featured since VR is the future. Everybody wants in on it.
It's the rage right now.
Modules in VR.
Yeah, it's funny that modules are so popular now because that, what was it called, Project Aura and like phone blocks. I remember talking about that on the podcast.
It was
like
so cool. I still
ago.
think it's a great idea.
Do you think manufacturers are just trying to beat them to the market, maybe?
Because we haven't heard anything from Project Aura in a long time, and then I think they're moving departments, and there's a lot of reshuffling going on at Google with like I forget what that guy's name is. The new Motorola guy heading off their products division. So.
Oh yeah, Rick.
I'm not sure, if maybe Project Aura got put on the back burner. If maybe I don't know, the Project Aura people just started working with some of these big manufacturers like Motorola to kind of introduce some type of modules for their phones. Who knows?
I mean, to be fair too, like Project Aura is way bigger of a thing. Like it's not
way
just
more
like
advanced
on a phone that already works. It's like shooting for the moon. It's,
it is pretty advanced, pretty out there. Definitely a lot more complicated than just putting a colored back on your phone.
All right, did you guys see this OnePlus 3 leak?
Oh, yes.
This will be proof that we don't just give Samsung a hard time for copying.
Yes.
So the OnePlus 3 looks exactly like an HTC phone.
It does. It looks exactly like it.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's hard. I have like all the HTC phones, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "Is that an HTC phone?" I mean, it's really, really hard to spot the differences.
It's kind of funny how it seems like a lot of people copy HTC, and because HTC isn't really doing all that well, so maybe that's why they're like, "Well, if we copy HTC, no one will notice."
Yeah, exactly. Like, dang, HTC, they come up with some really cool designs, but since nobody buys their phone, no one's going to know, so let's just...
Yeah, they'll think that they're copying us, because we're bigger.
Exactly.
I mean, OnePlus can't really say that, but Samsung can.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when, what was it, like Coldplay, they apparently stole somebody's music, and, they pass it off as their own, and nobody believed, that these other guys came up with it first, so... It's just we've seen that before, but the phone. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, I think it looks cool. It looks like an HTC phone. It's just kind of frustrating and annoying that nobody can just come up with their own original designs. I feel like there's so many different ways you can make a smartphone and so many different things you could do to it, and just to, just be so boring and copy like those. It's just it's like a metal Foxconn phone. It's just like, geez.
Nextbit did it. That's what you gotta do. If you're like a smaller manufacturer like OnePlus or Nextbit, you gotta come out with something that's drastically different than anyone's ever seen.
Yes, exactly. That is yeah. Amen.
So Chris is excited about this next one. WhatsApp releases a desktop application for Windows and Mac. Finally.
I've been wanting to use WhatsApp, and I've been trying to get my family to like kind of convert over to it, just because I don't want my family to be on the same. I have this like phobia that I'm gonna send something really inappropriate to like my family chat. Because I have all my other Android friends on Hangouts, and I'm morbidly, because it happened to my friend, and I'm not gonna say exactly what happened, but he sent his mom something horrible, and he just passed it off and pretended that Chris grabbed my phone and sent something. That dummy, he's always joking around.
I mean, couldn't that happen on any app though? I mean, if you're not paying attention.
If you completely remove your family from that, like Hangouts, I'm not going to accidentally open their chat and just send something like link really quick or whatever. It just wouldn't happen. I'd have to open up WhatsApp and be like, okay, I'm in WhatsApp, I'm talking to my family now, and then copy paste, drop a picture in there, do whatever. So I'm really excited about this because they finally have a desktop application, which means you can use it on your laptop. So that was kind of the one thing holding me back from kind of moving to WhatsApp, because I feel like it's popular everywhere except it's not. I don't know if it's a U.S. thing.
Yeah, it's almost like soccer. It's massively popular in everywhere else in the world, but not really in the U.S.
Billions and billions of users, and then Facebook dropped I don't know how much money to buy them, but it's just like, I don't know anybody that uses it. What the heck, man? And I was kind of always hoping it would just sort of be like this universal, like, just works on all the platforms, and everyone would just be on it, and everyone's chatting on that, and I don't have to worry about trying to convince my friends to download Hangouts on their iPhones. But yeah, it just hasn't really been that way. But maybe if I can just get my family on over to that and just separate them from Hangouts, I'd be happy.
Get your family on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, my mom, I actually don't want, but my dad just opened up a Facebook account. I don't want my mom on Facebook. I don't want her going through my Facebook stuff, and I'd rather keep them off Facebook. Although, I mean, I guess you don't need it now with Messenger. You can get an email account and stuff. So yeah, maybe I will get them onto that. Yeah, maybe that's a good medium.
Speaking of messengers, this is a weird thing. YouTube is rolling out a messenger for some people, where you can watch a video with other people in a chat basically, and like chat about it in real time, instead of like, say you're using WhatsApp like Chris was talking about, instead of pasting a link to a YouTube video in WhatsApp, you would just chat in YouTube, so you would never have to leave the app. And I think it's really dumb.
Yeah, because messaging's so hot right now. It's like the VR.
No one's gonna use it. Like, no one's gonna be, we're talking about a YouTube video, we better go talk about this in the YouTube app. Like, no.
I mean, I need to share this with my friends and then talk to them, and they can watch it. And I don't know. Like, usually, I send YouTube links all the time, but I just copy the dang URL and post it into Hangouts, and bloop, it just shows up.
You don't even have to copy the URL. I mean, all of these apps have like the built-in share button.
Yeah, exactly. There you go too. So it's just kind of weird. I don't know if I don't know. It's really odd. I think they need to do something about their comment system first before they start rolling out messaging functions.
Why wouldn't they make it possible in Hangouts to play a video and keep chatting in Hangouts?
Yeah.
There's that would make so much more sense.
There's so much they can do with Hangouts, and they just don't want to do it. I don't know. I'm hoping Google I/O, they just like, oh, by the way, we have the all-new Hangouts.
Oh, by the way, Hangouts is useful now. Ashley, what messaging services do you use?
I use Hangouts, but you were talking about WhatsApp getting a desktop application. I wish Kik would get a desktop application too. Like, I love being able. It's like the only anonymous messenger that still exists.
Kik is really, really fun.
So, like, if you want to talk to people you've met on Reddit or something, but you don't want them to have your full name, that's about the only way you can do it.
That's true. The anonymous aspect. I never really thought about that with
Kik is pretty popular too.
Yeah.
And everywhere else but the U.S.
I feel like a lot of people have a Kik. You don't know that it's them.
Yeah.
They have some username that they made up on there.
Okay. So our little last bit of news here. I guess Chris wants to give away some free stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I already gave away free stuff, but I still have $5 promo codes for the reversible micro USB cables that I've been trying to give away to everybody. But yeah, it's still $5 off. It's $13, so it's like about 38% off, and it's a 2-pack of reversible micro USB cables, so it comes out to like $4 a cable. And the cables are freaking awesome because it's kind of like USB Type-C where you can put them in either way on both ends, so you never have to like try to think or fail.
It's basically magic. Think or fail.
It's basically magic because for me, when things don't work right, something about inanimate objects and things, when like a cord gets tangled, I lose my shiznit. Like I want to just rip it and just get things and throw it. Like I go crazy. I'm very patient when it comes to people and animals and things, but it's just my electronics. I have zero patience for.
That's probably why electronics hate you.
Yeah. And I already have some friends that have just received these cables because it's on Amazon and it's 2-day shipping, and they're all super surprised at how awesome they were. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell people, I feel like I'm trying to spread this gospel, and nobody's believing me until they finally get them in their hands and they're like, holy crap, these are actually really nice. And I'm like, yes, that's what I've been trying to freaking tell you guys. But yeah, because I guess the world just doesn't get excited over micro USB cables like they used to. I don't know if they ever did.
Yeah, it's pretty. Watch Chris's video if you want to see like how the heck it works because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, let's get into our wins and fails of the week. So my win is going to be Pebble, the Pebble app that runs on your phones. They added health data to that. So previously you could see like steps and stuff like that on your watch. And now they put that in the health app or in the app on your phone so you can view it from your phone. And since it's on your phone, you can see a lot more information and you can see these really cool graphs and like steps over a week and stuff like that. So it's really nice. I've found that Pebble's health data is like just as accurate as anyone else's that I've ever used. So it's cool.
Actually like could be a good fitness watch now.
Yeah,
you can actually see that data.
And they do have sleep data too. I don't personally use that because I can't sleep with anything on my wrist. But so if you're into that too, they have all that information in the app now too. So the Pebble, they keeps getting better. I'm pretty happy with my my smartwatch choice. My fail is going to be, so everyone on the internet was talking about this week. Instagram got a new look and a new icon. The app is now all black and white. That's not really the exciting part. The app icon is what is crazy. So they completely changed their iconic icon that they've been using since...
Iconic icon.
Yeah, it really is an iconic icon. They've been using it ever since they were, first started out in the iPhone. And yeah, it is a little bit dated. It has like that leather texture and skeuomorphic design that people don't use anymore. But instead of just kind of updating that look, they went completely opposite direction. And so now you've got this weird rainbow gradient and like a rounded square with a circle in the middle that represents a camera. And like it looks like all those Instagram type apps that are like a dime a dozen in the Play Store. And
it looks like the knockoff and not the real one.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a bummer. It's almost like that Uber redesign. It's like, what were they thinking?
Why?
They just went in the complete opposite direction. And it sucks because they released this long video, like all these places do when they have a new icon. It's like, guys, trust us. We worked hard on this. Like, trust us. See? And then in this video, they showed off like 5 or 6 better icons.
Yeah, all these awesome ones. I'm like, oh, that would have been awesome. And
it's like, you blew it, man. You had it. You blew it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, you're going to get used to it in a week. And yeah, you're right. That doesn't mean it's not bad. We get used to lots of poorly designed things.
Yeah. It's terrible. And not only that, the app itself. I mean, I feel like they lost so much personality with like the icon, and then the app itself. Like the UI is now. I think we talked about it before, but now it's like completely black and white, and they rolled it out to everybody. So iOS, every Android user.
That part doesn't bug me so much, like, because I can see maybe they make their UI black and white, so it puts all the emphasis on the photos, which I don't really mind too much, but it is kind of weird, like hashtags and usernames, or it's just everything's black, so it just all blends in.
Weird. I mean, that's the part that bothers me. Is like, okay, black and white. I mean, their website. If you just go to fanboy.com on the web, Instagram.com on the web. It's been black and white for a long time now, and I've always been wondering, when are they going to update the apps to look like this? Because why they have 2 completely different designs? But yeah, like you said, it's just everything's black and white. Names, links. It's ridiculous. There's just no color or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
just a little bit of color would have helped a lot.
Emphasis on photos. Like, how about you like allow people to show higher res photos or something first, and I don't know, make everything black and white to put the emphasis. I feel like it's a cop out. Whoever's doing the design out there on Instagram, I mean, that guy's. He's making a killing off of he has the easiest job in the world.
There's this really funny GIF that was on Reddit of like this kid. He's on a computer. This is like a 90s how to use a computer video probably, and he's just like in Paint clicking on the different gradients, and he finds the one that looks like Instagram, turns to the camera, and goes. It's so silly.
That little computer meme kid that they use for like everything, and it's so funny because someone shows you like, dude, I could have came up with this in like 5 seconds, and Instagram had that video talking about how it's taken. I think they had an interview with some big website, but and
that's the problem is these companies, they way overthink it. Like when you see a million icons that would have been better, that happens because they are overthinking it. And
way too much.
Yeah, like every little detail they're obsessing over, and it's just like, no, stop. You're thinking way too hard about this.
Stop, step back.
Yep.
Just chill out.
All right, Chris, what do you got?
My win for the week is going to be the HTC camera update. The HTC camera update for the HTC 10, I should probably say. HTC 10 camera update. The camera was updated. They had a firmware update, and even though the phone's already been reviewed to death by everybody, and people kind of picked apart the camera and said that it was great, but it's just not as good as some of these other smartphones. Mm-hmm. And HTC's like, oh well, we can make it a little bit better, but I mean by now it's too late. So they tweaked a few things. It's not like completely different now, which I mean I guess you would expect, but. For some reason, when I would take the photos or I would see some of these photos, they kind of looked like they had this weird little haze over them, and it really, really bothered me. But now that's been almost completely removed. It's usually when you have like a really bright, like if you're taking a picture of a landscape and there's like a really bright sky, for some reason the brightness would go over. Yeah, I noticed it too. Would go over like a tree or a bush, but now the tree completely stands out. Now the bush is nice and clear and dark. So I guess the dynamic range was improved as far as that goes, and just the sharpness. I feel like it's a lot more sharp now. I took some pictures before and after, so you guys can check that post out on Fandroid. And just one of the things I noticed was how much more detail and how much more sharp like little things looked like whether it was like the stone on the wall or like the wood of like this barbecue pit we have in the back. It looks a lot better now, a little bit better. Enough. It's weird because they did the same thing with the M9. They came out with every year. I swear to you, every year. I think since the M7. I mean, it's like the phone comes out, and it's just like, by the way, we have a little update for you. Get it right the first time. Yeah, and it's like, geez, maybe people wouldn't have completely shat all over your camera the first time. But it looks great now. I mean, really, my only problem with the camera is just that, like, as far as it not being as good as the S7 or as good as some of these other phones, it's just the performance. It's kind of slow to focus.
Have you noticed you don't use Snapchat a lot, but there's a bug with Snapchat on the HTC 10.
What does it do?
A lot of times if you open up Snapchat and you have like the front-facing camera, it will just like completely be blurry. You can't get it to focus. You have to like open the HTC camera and then go back to Snapchat.
What?
It's like this weird bug that people are aware of.
I've seen so many things so far with just Snapchat in general. I mean, it's had a history of just being kind of buggy on Android, but ever since like the S7 and the HTC 10 launched and stuff, I noticed that my phone gets stupid hot. Like the HTC 10 gets so hot when Snapchat's open, and I'm not doing anything. I'm just in a chat. I was just chatting last night with like a friend, but it was my phone was getting so hot, I just couldn't. It was driving me crazy. And I look online, and apparently all these other people are having the same problem. And it's just kind of a
Snapchat is just a really bad app.
Snapchat
it really
problems.
Is. It's just like a really poorly made app. I was reading once that I don't know if this is the case anymore, but at one time, if you open Snapchat and you're like on my voice just cracked there. That was weird. If you're on like the Discover page or the page where you've sent and you just leave it there, your phone display will not turn off because it's all just an overlay over the camera.
Oh.
And basically what happens when you...
I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's going on.
Listen to this, though. This will blow your mind. When you take a photo with Snapchat, it's actually taking a screenshot of the camera taking a photo. It's not like actually taking a photo.
That part I knew. That part
it's so stupid.
Is that that's why on Android it always kind of looked a little bit crappier than if you had an iPhone, because the iPhone uses the camera, the actual camera, to take a photo.
It's like, come on, you have so much money to make a friggin' decent app.
Like, I don't know how they got away with that. But I feel like the quality's improved a little bit on Android, so I don't know if they do that anymore. But that does explain a lot, though, because I feel like when I was in the chat, my phone was getting just as hot as if I just had the camera open the entire time. So I was like, camera's not open. Why is it getting so damn hot? But I guess it was. I guess it was open the whole time. So that's my win. HTC Camera 10 update. HTC 10 update. My fail for the week... I don't know if I really have one. I mean, I guess I do have one. Okay, this is what I got kind of upset about. So, Google is trying to pay people $20 an hour to test drive their self-driving cars, which is awesome. That's a lot of money. So the news behind it is just that they're going to be paying. They want to pay people. They're looking to hire people to test drive the car, $20 an hour. The contracts are from between 12 to 24 months, so it's like either a year or 2 years. And you just have to have like a clean driving record, no criminal history, that sort of thing. I guess the fail portion of it is that it's only going on in Arizona. Yeah. So
now, how much are you required to drive?
It's 6 to 8 hours a day, and you're technically not driving.
That's true. It's a long time to be in a car. You're just
sitting behind the. Yeah, so it's kind of like those. It reminds me a lot of those NASA projects where they just have you like lay in a bed for like a month straight, and they just prod you.
Yeah, and sounds horrid.
Then they forget about you, and you wake up, and Mountain Dew is controlling the country. Oh wait, that
sounds like my dream, honestly. Yeah. So I was so excited about this. Like, this is awesome. I'm gonna tell my family. I'm gonna tell my sister to get on this, and then it's like, oh, it's just Arizona only. So. Yeah, if you live in Arizona, good for you. That's awesome. You have a chance to get.
Sounds horrible to me. I would not sign up to do that.
To get chauffeured around the city. Someone jokingly said, like, "Oh, what if you were working Uber, and just had it pick up people, and you were getting paid to do Uber while you were getting paid to sit in the Google self-driving car?"
I mean, yeah, where would you even drive for that amount of time a day? Like you would just drive in circles.
Yeah, I didn't really consider how hard it would be and mundane, because remember, these cars only go, I think the top speed is like 30 miles an hour, so you're just going to be sitting
and are you,
driving really slow.
Are you forbidden from leaving like the town that they're doing this in, like, or could you just say, okay, I'm gonna go on a long road trip for 6 hours a day. I'm just gonna sit in a car and drive somewhere.
Oh no. This is yeah. They have like their preset roads and stuff that they're just gonna keep. I mean, it might even be like the same road back and forth. So yeah, it could be pretty
Yeah, I'm
excruciating.
not signing up for this. Sounds horrible.
And you just have to sit there and maybe I guess you would have to have your attention because on the road because if the car like f's up,
You're
you're gonna
there
have to
just
grab that wheel.
yeah, that's what you are. You're
Google's-
a body in case the car messes up. They're paying you $20
You're
an hour
just
to
a
do
little-
that.
You're a
Just a little
body to
monkey.
be murdered in case the car goes off a cliff.
Sign your life away.
I mean,
Yeah.
Google's probably watching you the entire time you're in there anyway. So,
Oh yeah, all their cameras and stuff.
okay, Ashley, what do you have?
I have a fail that turned into a win, I guess.
That's good.
I think it was in October of last year that I got my Fitbit, and I was telling you guys I was excited about it. And I still like it. It still works, but it is falling apart. Like, it's cracked.
Oh, wow.
The rubber is coming off. And it's happening up here, too.
If you're
So-
listening to this, basically, it looks like she's peeling it like a snake loses its skin. The rubber
Yeah.
is like
It's
peeling off.
dissolving.
Yeah.
I contacted Fitbit and told them that I'd had it less than a year, and they're replacing it, which, good job, but I don't know if I want to go with Fitbit for another 5 months before that one falls apart, so I decided to upgrade. And I got a Moto 360 Sport.
Yeah.
And I was worried about how it would look on my wrist, but I think it's pretty okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all.
The reason I did it is because Amazon has the 360 Sport right now, the black version only, for $200.
That's a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you like it? Have you
Smartwatch.
gone on like a run with it or anything yet?
It just came in yesterday, so I haven't
okay.
gotten a chance to do a run yet. But next podcast, I'll definitely talk about that.
Cool. Battery life has been pretty good so far?
Yeah, I did a little test yesterday because the only thing that the Fitbit does that the Moto 360 can't do is sleep tracking. And like, I'm not really avid sleep tracker, but I like to see my stats. And I installed Sleep as Android because it has Android Wear support. And I put the watch in theater mode after I started tracking and woke up with like 75% battery, so it's not too bad for 8 hours.
What did your stats say about your sleeping habit, your pattern?
Mostly that like I got 4 hours of deep sleep and 4 hours of light sleep. Yeah, like
Well,
it tells
that's
you
not
how
bad.
much deep and light sleep you get. It's really interesting.
I don't get how that does it. I mean, I know my girlfriend, she has some like the Huawei Honor Band or whatever it's called, but hers, she always gets around like 2 hours of deep sleep or 3 hours of deep sleep, which I think is so odd because I mean you can never wake her up ever. I mean you can do anything to her, and she would never wake up. It's so odd because I'm pretty sure she's deep sleeping that whole time. So I don't know how it calculates it. I guess it's by your like heart rate or something. But
That's
wild.
another thing that the 360 does. Like, it does have a continuous heart rate monitor if you're doing running, but if you want to do some interval training, I think you have to download a separate app because the Moto Body app doesn't have it. I mean, you can set it as a run, I guess, but it'd be really difficult to set up.
I
Yeah.
thought I was pretty sure that the 360 Sport did continuous heart check like all the time, not just when you
It
were running.
does, but like not. It's every 5 minutes. It's not
Oh.
continuous. Like the HR, you can go and look and see your heart rate at any point. And I mean, you could do that with the 360 too, but I don't know. It doesn't keep track of it like the Fitbit does. It doesn't keep a graph of it.
Gotcha. All right, so let's do some app picks. So my app pick is going to be a game called 99 Rockets. This is like the games that I always recommend. It's just a very simple game. All you do is just tap. It's called 99 Rockets because the idea of the game is you have 99 rockets and there's 99 targets to hit. And so if you miss a target, just like one target, you have to start over. So basically you just want to try to get as far as you can without missing a rocket. And the way that it's not just like point and aim, that would be pretty easy. The rockets are like constantly looping in circles, and so you have to kind of get it timed right for the rocket to be aimed at the target, and then you tap, and then it releases from the circle in the trajectory towards the target. So it's pretty difficult, but it's really really addictive because like you have to start over and over and over again because you are going to miss. You can buy an in-app purchase to unlock saving, or you can watch an ad every time you want to save, which is actually I just did that. It's like 30-second ads, and so I sat there. I was just like watching TV, and then so like every time I would, I just hit that, continue watching TV, wait for the ad to finish, and like I got all the way to 99 in just like a couple minutes the other night.
Just so our viewers know, whenever there's in-app purchases or something like that, Joe takes it as a challenge.
Absolutely.
So tries to see how far he can get. He'll tough it out. If there's a free version, he's gonna tough it out.
It's like, why would you just pay to beat a game? Like, what's the point of even playing the game if you're just gonna buy an in-app purchase to beat it, basically?
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, just to prove that you don't have to buy anything, I got to 99. And then when you get to 99, you actually unlock Master Mode, which is you have to see how far you can get with no save points, which is super hard. I think I got to like 13. But yeah, it's a free game mostly, so check it out. That sounds like fun to you. Mostly.
My epic is going to be Gboard. I don't know if you guys heard about this.
Is that a hoverboard?
It sounds like it, right? It's like the new Google hoverboard. It's really awesome. No, it's the Google keyboard. They finally made a Google keyboard for iOS. It's only iOS right now, but they did say that it will eventually be coming to Android. Of course, they didn't give any specifics on that. But it's the Google keyboard, and it's really awesome. It's crazy. So we kind of leaked this, or somebody leaked this a while back, and just the information around it. So you can, straight from the keyboard, you can push this little Google button, and you can look up GIFs, pictures, you can do Google searches, you can do all the stuff straight from the keyboard and share those with people or whoever you're chatting with. So it's pretty cool because you literally don't have to leave whatever you're doing to find this stuff. And the GIF feature, I think, works the best because you can search for GIFs and just copy them and then paste them right there, which I think a lot of keyboards do have this kind of feature, but I think it's awesome when it does. So
that's
it's
pretty much why
Google keyboard.
That's like why it's for iOS only, is the part you said where you don't have to leave the app. Because like
exactly.
That's important on iOS because everything's not Google by default.
Yes. So I think there was a study or something showing that Google searches on like iOS are really, really low. Because I guess people are using Siri and other things, but this kind of is a way for Google just to kind of like give it to Apple and almost transform the iPhone into just like complete Google services. Because I mean, really, you don't need that on Android. You could just do Google Now on tap. You just hold the dang home button on any Android phone and pull up a Google search and look for stuff and kind of go about it that way. So it's really not as important. So it's easy to see why it was such a big priority for Google to get this on iOS, and it makes sense. I'm not sure what features we'll see this will hit Android, or if it'll just all of them, or if they're just going to rebrand the Google keyboard as Gboard on Android. We'll see. But right now, it's pretty awesome. Now it's my new default keyboard. I've never changed the default keyboard on iOS, but now it's Gboard, and it works awesome.
This is Gboarding.
I'm keyboarding now. I think the name is still terrible. I would really hope they just keep it Google Keyboard on Android because Gboard is terrible.
Yeah, it is weird. Ashley, what do you got?
I've got an app for Android Wear, of course. It's called Feel the Wear. The only thing I don't like about the Moto 360 is I feel like the vibration default is kind of soft. Like sometimes I don't feel it. And with Feel the Wear, you can increase the intensity of the vibration, which is a really weird thing to say. It also has different vibration patterns too.
That's cool.
I like where this is going.
There was actually an update on Pebble recently that added some more patterns like that, and you can actually have the Mario theme song
Oh
vibrate
wow.
when you get a notification. It's kind of cool. Yep, pretty much. All right. I have a couple tweets here concerning the HTC 10, and they are all from Space Cat Guy at Dhinged. First off, he says, "I'm fine paying gobs of money for a fantastic phone." Hashtag HTC 10. That was in reply to my comment about it being expensive. And then he also says, "Is there no way to have capacitive button brightness match screen brightness on the HTC 10? I don't believe there is, and is that something that you can even do on any phone?"
No,
I
that
don't
isn't.
think so.
That could be the next killer feature.
I
We're
always
always
turn
trying to
off.
figure out.
I literally just turn off the backlight button, and it annoys me that you can't do that on the HTC 10. And then his last tweet, does the HTC 10 show the HTC boom sound persistent unstoppable notification while playing media? Yes, it does. I have really not found it to be that annoying, though. I certainly don't have all the persistent notifications that David Hollingshead is always
So
writing about.
what if you were playing something and while that notification was up, you held down on it and said not to show notifications?
Android system
Oh, okay.
is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, I'll just disable that. But it's like it's there because it's a toggle, so you can switch between the theater and music modes that I was talking about earlier. But yeah, I don't really use that very often. So okay, so and then we had a question that we forgot to get to last week, and it was from Daquan Johnson. So very, very sorry, Daquan, that we missed that. But he said every year the Note has been Samsung's real flagship phone, but a ton of websites say it's just going to be a blown-up S7 with a pen. What are your thoughts? I personally love my Note 4, and I don't feel like changing anytime soon. I mean, that's kind of like what it was last year. I mean, the S6 or the Note 5 was kind of a blown-up S6.
Yeah.
It had a little
the
bit
weird thing
different
was
design.
that it was because last year it was the Galaxy S6 Plus and the Note 5 that launched together.
Right.
But then this year it was, basically the same thing, but the S7 Edge. I guess there is no Plus, but the Edge is the new Plus, and that launched with the S7. So for the the Galaxy Note 6 to come out later in the year, you would assume that it would have better specs and maybe do something different. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
What
I mean,
would
it could
they
just be a
do?
blown up. I mean, it could. I mean, the water resistance, I'm guessing, is going to be the thing for it, which will be cool, because people really like the water resistance.
That's tough to pull
The
off.
battery.
Giant slot for a pen.
Yeah, they're going to have a way bigger battery. But I mean, I guess you could. I mean, there's ways to engineer it, and you could just have the pen part that's just completely separate. And since it's capacitive, it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever they do with it, I guess
guess
they won't make it so that the pin can be put in backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the first thing I try. Jam it in there.
I think probably the biggest thing they're going to really maybe just kind of revamp is probably like the way the S Pen works and how you do stuff with it and all that stuff. I think that might be the most like the biggest feature, since that's the main reason why people buy a Note is for that little pen.
Yeah.
But if it just has a huge battery, if it has a battery that's bigger than the Edge Plus, I'd probably get it because I don't like the stupid curved edge sides. I hate edge displays and the curved edges, and it's terrible.
For sure.
Just give me just a blown up S7 with a giant battery and a pen. I think that'd be really awesome.
Well, hopefully it's good because I know there are a lot of people clinging to the Note 4 still, like Daquan. People really love that phone.
Yes, I hear that a lot. And I think even like Rob, he still has his Note 4 that's all like beat up. Like he was using up until very, very recently.
It was a good phone.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for this week. I want to remind everyone that we're on Google Play Music, so you can subscribe to us there. You can also send us an email or a tweet, podcast@fandroid.com and @mobileroarcast. Other places you can subscribe to us are TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and whatever your favorite podcasting app is. And then you can follow us. Chris is at GamerCore, Ashley is at Overlord Roar, and I am at Tall Schmo. And we will see you all next week. Later.
Later.